What's the next lemonade? It seems fashionable for people to diversify away from lemonade stock after the run it's had over the past 14 months. They ask themselves, okay, well, I nailed this one. What's the next play that's going to multi bag my money? It's the same question I got from a friend back in 2020 after he 4X'd his Tesla position in 10 months. He was euphoric. He had proven he could spot a winner. He wanted to do again. So he asked, what's the next Tesla? My answer then was simple: Tesla is the next Tesla. He didn't like that answer. He had already made his money. He wanted something new, something early, something that still had the full run ahead of it. He sold most of his position to take profits and went hunting for the next 10 bagger. Tesla went up another 8x after that conversation. Today, when people ask me what's the next lemonade, my answer is the same: lemonade is the next lemonade. And I know it's not the answer that people want to hear, because if you're already in it, it feels like you've already won. The first leg is done. Time to find the next thing before that other thing runs. And it seems like people are having more fun in other stocks all the time. But that's not how compounding works. It's definitely not how generational wealth works. And here's why people miss the second and third and fourth leg to a stock. Here's what happens psychologically when you catch a winner early. You buy it at 20, it runs to 80, you're up 4x, you feel like a genius. The hard part is over. You found it, you believed, you held, and you think mission accomplished. But now your brain does this thing where it starts hunting for the next asymmetric opportunity, because surely the easy money in this trade is done, right? It's already a $2 or $3 billion company. How much bigger can it get? So you start scanning for the next pre-revenue biotech or next overlooked software as a service play, the next Tesla, Lemonade, or whatever. You take profits and you rotate and optimize. Then you watch your old position go up another 10x while your new next big thing goes sideways for 3 years. I've seen this happen dozens of times. People bought Tesla at $16 pre-split and sold at 120 because they already made their money. People who bought Amazon in the early 2000s and sold when it hit 100, because how much bigger can an online bookstore get? The painful truth is that the best investments compound for decades. The asymmetry doesn't stop after the first leg. It gets more asymmetric as the company executes and the market realize what's actually being built. We believe Lemonade is still in the first inning, and here's what most people don't get about Lemonade yet. They see an insurance company that's gone from 20 to 60 and think, okay, cool, I caught a good trade. They see these total addressable market numbers, a trillion plus global insurance market, or maybe even 10 trillion, and it feels abstract. It feels like a big number, but how much can one company really capture of the global insurance market? What they're missing is the compounding loops that are just now starting to kick in. AI moat widens over time. Every claim Lemonade processes makes the AI better. Every policy written generates more data. The more customers they have, the better their loss ratios get. The cheaper they can price, the more customers they can attract. This isn't a linear growth story. It's a flywheel that's barely started spinning. Lemonade's unit economics improve with scale. Insurance is a game of law of large numbers. The bigger your pool, the more predictable your risk, the lower your capital requirements, and the higher your returns. Lemonade's at that stage where scale is starting to matter, and they're not slowing down. They also have greenfield expansion into massive markets. They just started in auto. They're early in life insurance. They haven't even touched commercial insurance yet. The growth runway isn't measured in quarters, it's measured in decades. They also have a structural advantage legacy players can't replicate. Legacy insurers are trying to bolt AI onto a 50-year-old infrastructure. Lemonade was built for this from day one. The gap isn't closing, it's actually widening. This isn't a story about a company that had a good run and is now fully valued. This is a story about a company that's just now reaching the stage where the advantages compound and the market starts to realize what it actually is. Do you believe the thesis still holds? If you bought Lemonade early, you believe something like this: Insurance is broken. It's adversarial, slow, expensive, and ripe for disruption. AI can fundamentally reshape how insurance works. Lemonade is best positioned to execute on this vision because their tech stack, their culture, their speed, and their alignment with customers. If they execute, we believe this is a 50 billion plus dollar company. So ask yourself, what's changed? Are they executing? Yes. Faster than almost anyone expected. Is the thesis intact? Yes. Insurance is still broken. AI is still getting better. Lemonade is still widening the gap. Is the total addressable market still massive? Yes, they barely scratched the surface. Is the market pricing in the full outcome? No, not even close. So, if all that is true, then why are you looking for the next lemonade when lemonade is still the best version of itself? The only reason to leave is if you think the thesis is broke. If you think they're going to stop executing, or competition is going to catch up, or the market opportunity is smaller than you thought. But if the thesis is intact, if you still believe what you believed when you bought in, then the correct move is to hold or even add, because the second leg of a compounder is usually bigger than the first, and the third leg bigger than the second. So here's the uncomfortable truth about compounding and what's hard about holding compounders. It's boring. You buy in, you do the research, you have conviction, it goes up, you feel smart, and then nothing happens for a while, or it chops around building a base, or it dips and you're staring at a drawdown, wondering if you should cut and rotate into something with a little more momentum where everyone's having the fun. Meanwhile, every day on Twitter, someone's posting about the new hot stock that's up 40% in a week, the new AI play, the new startup, the new whatever. And you're starting to think, man, I could be making money right now instead of just sitting there holding the same stock that I've held for 2 or more years. That's the test, and that's where most people fail, because compounding doesn't feel like winning in the moment. It feels like you're sitting on the sidelines while everyone else is trading and making fast money. But compounding is what creates generational wealth. It's not the 4x in 18 months, it's the 50x over 10 years. And you only get the 50x if you're willing to sit through the boring middle part where nothing exciting happens and you're tempted to rotate out into the next shiny thing. So, what about diversification? Someone's going to read this and say, okay, well, it's not responsible to just hold one position forever. What about risk management? What about diversification? It's a fair question. And my take is that diversification is a hedge against ignorance. If you don't know what you own, or you're not confident in the thesis, then yes, spread around your bets, own 20 stocks, reduce your exposure to any single outcome, protect yourself from being wrong. But if you do know what you own, if you've done the work, if you understand the business, if you believe in the thesis, if you trust the management team, then concentration is actually how you build wealth. Buffett didn't get rich by owning 50 stocks. He got rich by making a few big bets on things he understood deeply and holding them for decades. That doesn't mean go 100% into one position and never think about it again. It means if you find something that meets your criteria for a generational compounder, don't dilute it just because you're afraid of concentration risk. The risk isn't concentration. The risk is being wrong about the thesis. So do the work to make sure you're right, and then act like you're right. So what's the next lemonade? We've already answered that. Lemonade is the next lemonade. The company that went from $20 to $60 is the same company that can go from $60 to $600. The thesis hasn't changed. The execution is ahead of schedule. The total addressable market is still massive, and the moat, or their advantages, are widening. If you're holding it and wondering what's next, the answer is keep holding. Let it compound. Stop hunting for the next thing when the current thing is still in the first inning. And if you're not holding it yet, the question isn't, did I miss it? The question is, do I believe the thesis? I saw this with people missing out on Tesla and then buying heavily into Rivian or into Nikola Motors and losing a lot of money. But if you believe in a thesis, it's not too late. It's never too late when a company is still in the early stages of a multi-decade compounding story. The hard part isn't finding the next big thing. The hard part is holding the thing you already found long enough to let it become the next big thing. That's the game. And most people lose because they go hunting for new dragons before they finish slaying the one right in front of them. I'm Bradford Ferguson with Rebellionaire. Bye for now.